So this was me in the morning, trying to make a video. I was sent to my mom, my dad, and then my wife, my family, to tell them I was already flying to the city I told them I was going to. And then we took off. The flight was meant to be for 3 hours, and then about 2 hours 30 minutes into the flight, it started raining heavily. It's a usual thing to rain while you're up there, but the rain was too much. It was so heavy that I couldn't see anything. I was sitting directly behind the pilot. You can see the pilot looking left, looking right, trying to look down. Before everywhere was covered, I knew we're on top of a river. I saw we're on top of a river. So, and I noticed the plane was going down speedily. So, at that point, I became scared as a human being, and then I began to pray my spirit, and I say, Lord, I can't end like this. Remember, I'm building you a church. I had an agreement with you that I was going to build you a church single-handedly years back, a few years ago, when I started a particular business. He gave me an idea. I promised him to do a church, and I'm dedicating this church by January 28th. Lord, I can't go to the grave and that church will be dedicated. Save us, save us. I began to speak in tongues, and before I knew it, I just saw that we touched the ground suddenly, because I wasn't seeing anything in the front. And then look at the waters. I would touch the ground. It was a muddy place, feel the water, look at the water the way, and then the pilot couldn't control it. And then the next thing we saw ourselves was the head of the plane was already getting into the bush, and then he stopped suddenly. So we all rushed out of the plane to avoid a fire outburst. And you can see the fans still rotating. And then the villagers, with the sound of what happened, villagers gathered. People were trying to assist us. Were there all night, all day, all night, trying to find solution, bringing out the plane. We couldn't do anything. They were using shovels and all that. So they now brought a tractor by the next day. And then the tractor was now what we tried to use. Meanwhile, the aviation fuel was leaking while the plane bent to one side. So we found a means to collect the aviation fuel. So these are the gallons. All these things were aviation fuel that were gathered all night till this morning, and then we tried to still get it out until around 3 p.m. when we were able to bring it out of the place. And then the pilot checked the engine and said one of the engines was still in a very perfect condition. The other one was a bit affected, according to what he said. And then he said that something broke in the leg, what the thing that covers the tire when tire goes up, so that we were going to lose it up. So the pilot loosed it out, and there was no runway. So how do we, because we can't even stay there, we can't even, it was a village, no way to go out. So the only means was still to fly with the same craft out of the place. No runway. So the villagers had to clear the land, clear the place, and then try to give us a place where the plane can run. The truck, you can see the tractor dragging the plane to a far place where we can at least have a little place to run and take off. And then I said to the pilot, are you sure we can go? He said, we'll try. So I took his hand, said the word of prayer, and then we trusted God, got back into the plane, and then we had to do a short run, and then we took off.
Wow. Damn. Wow. So you mean someone can survive a plane crash? This is huge, very huge. Tremendous news, right? I will let you see the end of the video, but this just again personally saying God still does remarkable and tremendous miracles. He's still in the business of saving, preserving, and then keeping lives, securing lives, so to speak. And then no matter how death has invaded and taken over the world, there is still definitely people that are unkillable, that cannot just be quenched or in our local palace died just like that. Quite happy, and this is just mercy. Stroke of mercy, not that this is the holiest or the best, of course. And This is good. I'm putting out this video to encourage someone there to say, reminding you that God is still alive and is still God. God can still save you no matter the situation, whether it is accident or sickness or issues of life, whatever it is, trauma, the depression. God can. This is a testament to recognizing the infinite power of the Most High God, still in the business of saving, securing, protecting, and even making life productive. I'm quite happy. And then another lesson we need to learn there: trust God all through. Yes, certainly that's the first. The second is, please, you saw that community that the plane landed in. These guys were vulnerable at this point. They would have been robbed. We've heard several stories where, there was a very recent story of a man that died in his car in Benin, I think along a Popan road, and we're told that onlookers that came on robbed him. His pocket, his phone, his bags were ransacked, and every valuable taken from him. So they couldn't even get any information to reaching out to his family, and he was dead. Most likely the people would have attacked him. They got there, see that he was dead. They robbed him. So if the villagers or the people in that community had attempted to rob these guys, they would have succeeded. But yeah, they gave them a hand. You saw them helping them. You saw in the video. Let's be good. I'm sure that they would have been rewarded handsomely, but it will not be enough compared to what they have done and how God will reward them. Quite a remote community. Robbing these guys or even doing anything to them would have been huge to them. They would have earned a whole lot, but that wasn't the goal for that time. Let's be good. Whoever comes, strangers or needy or orphans or whatever, or people that are seeking for direction, let's be good to them. I'm quite impressed by that community. Unfortunately, he didn't know the community name to have mentioned, at least so that we can give them the accolades. And I pray that God's light shine on them. Most of these African communities are in deep problem. No light, no water, nothing. Civilization is out of space, and as you can see, they can't even access the main cities. But that's another day, right? So share this video, let somebody see this and appreciate God for being God and being who He is, saving the life of this man of God, Chidi Binabo, right? And then as well as every other one that God is doing. God is still, and then if you've had a testimony for this year, to tell God, this should just be your way of saying thank you, Jesus. Maybe you can just put that in the comment section. Thank you, Jesus, for your mercies and then your grace. I'll catch you again soon. Keep believing, keep trusting God. God is alive. That's all.
There was no runway, so how do we, because we can't even stay there, it was a village, no way to go out, so the only means was still to fly with the same craft out of the place. No runway, so the villagers had to clear the land, clear the place, and then try to give us a place where the plane can run. You can see the tractor dragging the plane to a far place where we can at least have a little place to run and take off. And then I said to the pilot, are you sure we can go? He said, we'll try. So I took his hand, said the word of prayer, and then we trusted God, got back into the plane, and then we had to do a short run, and then we took off, and God took us on the air and kept us for 3 hours back to Kinshasa. This is us landing back in Kinshasa, and then this is what the pilot had to say after we landed. So
bienvenue à Kinshasa. Thank you.
I'm just here to say, Father, thank you for sparing my life.